How to maintain your car. How do you do that? Yourself, by the way. Hey, if you haven't watched the channel before, it's Robgillt. It's Capetownspares. Let's get to it. Let's go check out how to maintain your car. So yeah, a lot of people have asked me, is it possible to maintain my car myself? Of course it is. It's really easy if you think about it. It's not that bad. There's a few things you need to know, and if you're quite technically minded, it's easier. You've got the spanners, and you've got the tools, and you've got the odd jack, and what have you. Perfect. Changing the oil is a good start. You know, how to change the oil in an engine and that sort of thing, replacing the filter and what have you. Another general thing people like to do is just replace the spark plugs and the belts on the engine and that sort of stuff, fluids, changing diff oils and that sort of stuff. When it comes to brakes, it's a little bit more tricky. It is safety critical, of course, and you do have to be careful about what you're doing and that sort of thing. But you get lovely little kits to push the brake pads back. We sell them on the store, lovely little things. Where you don't have to sit there trying to push those calipers back and what have you, but you've got to make sure that you remember to put everything back properly, and the way the brake pads go in, you know, just make sure you do it right. If you don't know what you're doing, rather send that to a pro. But you can go as far as changing shock absorbers. You know, take the shock absorbers out, you get spring clamp kits, you know, you'll save a fortune on labor. You know how much people pay for labor at garages? I mean, even a cheap mechanic, a mechanic who's really cheap, backyard, he's got a little workshop in a factory area, whatever, is charging 400 rand an hour. And you go to the dealers these days and you ask for a quote on the smallest thing, like a key, it's 3,500 rand. So, you know, you can really save a lot of money. I mean, the other day I was getting some tires on the car, because that's not something you do at home. You don't put tires on a car by yourself, not at all. That it's a waste. You need the machine, you need the balancer, and do the no, just take it to the guys, let them do it, and they don't even charge you extra. You just get the best deal on the tires, they put them on, great stuff. But while they're doing it, they're looking for faults. So you need this, you need that, you need that. So the guy says to me, you need front shocks. So, yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll get them. Don't worry. I'll put them in myself. But their quote is like 5,000 rand to do those two front shocks, and I can get those two front shocks for 2 grand. So, and put them in myself. So I'm saving like more than 50% of the price doing it myself. It could be worth it, but that always depends on what your time is worth. I mean, if you're a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, I mean, your time's worth a fortune. Why would you spend it working on your car, unless it's a hobby on a Sunday, which is in most cases the situation. So what I recommend is, if you want to save a few bucks, especially if you've got one of the more expensive brands, you know, learn how to fix it yourself and change the small things yourself. There's a lot of things you can do yourself that, you know, you really don't need to send it in for, like the little servicing items and belts and brakes and oils and things like that. You really don't need to send it in for that. If you have a major fault, major disaster, and you're not a mechanic and you don't know how to overhaul an engine, yeah, you might want to consider having it taken in. But for all those little goodies and whatnot, just do it yourself. But then there are those where you're buying lots of cars, then you need someone else doing it for you, because you really just don't have the time to spend doing that. And in a lot of countries in the world, it's actually not expensive to have somebody else do it for you. It's just around here, you know, South Africa, it's not the cheapest. And yeah, it's sometimes, if you've got the time to do it. It actually can be fun. You know, if you know what you're doing, fantastic stuff. What would be nice if you're doing it yourself is if you had a lift and all that sort of stuff, because crawling around underneath the car is not much fun. And if you really don't have tools for that, it can be a bit annoying as well. But if you've got all the tools and all the fun things and it's a hobby, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, comment and subscribe, and go and visit the shop and buy some parts, for heaven's sakes. If you go to our shop, you'll find, if you're looking for your part numbers, we've got a find your part number thing up top, and we've also got a link to your car. But the link to your car might not always have all your parts on it. We do try our best to put everything on there, but it might not be there. So go to the find your part number, go to the catalog, and go and see if your part, what your part number is, and just type it into the search bar, and you might just find it on the site, and it's there. Okay, quite easy. If you're struggling, send us a message. We'll see what we can do for you. So guys, like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, it's Robgillt. Cheers.